Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. It is the fourth week of our Esports Overwatch Tower Rumble, and it is the final week of the regular season and the last chance for these teams to show what they have before our club championships coming up at the end of this week. We're looking forward to some exciting Overwatch games tonight with our round-robin group stage kicking off the show, followed by this week's grand finals. Who will be crowned the final champion of the fall regular season? That is what we are going to find out. I am your host here, Michael Fisher, joined by Brenner Bear Ladd to call all of the action. And Brenner, I think the biggest question is going to be, where do we see this final group and this final week of the Esports Tower Overwatch kicking off? We've got two teams we've seen a lot of in the Everest and the Fire Islands. They'll be joined by Meridian Technical High. So how do you see this final week of the Rumble shaping up?
I mean, it's definitely students are trying to get to that winter break so they can go home and spend time with their families. But at the same time, they're going to be playing Overwatch no matter what because you want to keep that skill level high. And I definitely think they want to finish it out strong. I mean, we've seen very fantastic play from the Esports Tower Everest. We've seen the Fire Islands improve a ton. And in previous Esports Tower Rumbles, we've seen both Blue Springs and the Pink Panthers come through. But now this time around, we're going to have Meridian Technical come in, kind of a local favorite of ours that we've been working very closely with. So I expect to see kind of a lot of high skill plays, and hopefully Fire Islands can come out with a match win this time around because that's something we have not seen them be able to achieve, even though they've been putting in the work.
Yeah, as you said, the Fire Islands have been working all season long. A dark horse coming into this event. The Everest have also looked very strong. Curious to see how they'll match up against Meridian High. As you see the three teams there, so we will have our round-robin group stage, and then we'll have our grand finals to crown a champion. Of course, this is all leading up to the club championships taking place on December 17th, where all 4 game titles in the Esports Tower have an end-of-season tournament to see who the champion of the season will be. Cannot wait. Been told there'll be some returning teams, some teams we haven't heard from in a while, and some other game titles, so that should be a ton of fun. But right now, we're going to crown our last champion of the Fall Rumble here in Overwatch. But before we do that, let's throw it over to Doc's Keys of the Game, presented by the Esports Tower, which are and Score Pro Advice at esportstower.com, which are understand your comp and playstyle, focus on each fight, get good ultimate value. At the end of the day, the objective is greater than the kills. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. We'll have a pair of round-robin games. We'll kick things off with the Everest and the Fire Islands on Busan. Then we'll hop into a best-of-3 between Meridian High and the Fire Islands to see who will be heading to the grand finals and who will come out on top in week number 4. As we kick things off with the highlight game from our round 1 group stage, the Everest taking on the Fire Islands. I mean, we've talked so much about the Everest, Brenner. They look like a very strong team. They're right up there with the Pink Panthers. The Fire Islands have been putting in that work. They've been looking to gain some confidence heading into the end of the season. So what do the Fire Islands need to do on Busan in particular to come away with a round win here against probably the favorite of this 3-team group?
I mean, it's definitely going to be understand what your comp is and what your playstyle is and how you can kind of match the skill level of the Everest. Is we've seen a lot of teams have the very high individual play of they can constantly win those 1v1s. They can constantly just, click on heads better than you and win those and get the eliminations and go to point, whereas we could see Fire Islands try to just have the strong group play where they kind of play around their ults perfectly. They line them up one right after the other, not really spreading out and going for the individual plays, and that's an issue that we can see a lot on Busan. It's a very opener map where we can see, early on we could see the open snipers, or it could be mecha base where it's indoors fighting a lot and trying to constantly go with the flanks. So I would definitely hope to see them try to run more of a brawly style type comp with, the Rhine, the Zarya, or the Diva to try to just get in the face and sustain and fight, rather than something more like a dive where it relies heavily more on individual play than team, because at that point you're just calling a target and then everyone goes in and tries to kill that person, whereas instead Brawl, it's just survive and outlast them. So I think Fire Islands could definitely win with some of these strats. We'll just have to see how well they can implement them going up against Everest, who have kind of been undefeated for a very long time.
Yeah, the Everest have looked like one of the best teams in the Esports Tower. They've given the Pink Panthers a run for their money. And again, though, the good news for the Fire Islands, they officially do have a team of 6 now that's been practicing consistently together for the last few weeks. So that is something with some consistency in that roster that they can start to implement things in practice that maybe should carry over. Meanwhile, the Everest, as we said, have looked strong throughout the season, have been able to keep the same roster throughout, which has allowed them to improve each and every week. Again, we'll hop in to game number 1 here in week 4 of our Overwatch Rumble here. And at any moment, it is the Everest and Fire Islands on Busan. Be followed up by the Fire Islands taking on Meridian High. But here we go. Everest and Fire Islands. We'll see if the Fire Islands can pull off an upset to start off week number 4 as we start things on Mecha Base here between these two teams.
5,
Yeah, already some very familiar faces on the side of the Everts, whereas Fire Islands, as you mentioned, now on a 6-man team. So we're going to see some new faces from the previous Rumble that we have casted here on the Boise State broadcast. But already out the gate, we're going to see the Everts playing to their strengths of having that higher individual play with Bonesaw on that Doomfist is something you're going to have to watch out for, that the Fire Islands need to prioritize, as they kind of went more of the high speed with the Tracer, not really fitting in the comp with the Mei, which is why the Lucio is going to fall first.
You see Bonesaw there picking up a triple kill for his team. It's only Monkey left alive, and you see there, it looks like the Everts are going to start out strong with an early win on the first team fight.
Yeah, they had the exact momentum that they needed. They took the fight where they wanted to. They made sure to get right up in the face of the Fire Islands, right by their door, or take the space and engage the fight when they wanted to, with Bonesaw engaging that and now kicking things off with the Shatter. That's exactly what you want to see, but Monkey's there, able to get the 2-piece.
Monkey gets the flashbang as well. He gets the stun on a Diamond Dog, but unfortunately, Chum is Fum and not Doomfist will be able to pick up a couple of kills there. Frozen Phoenix now has the Shatter, looking to make a play for the Fire Islands to get back into this fight, but unfortunately, they are stuck in their spawn right now.
Yeah, it's a big issue we see with a lot of Busan, just because of they pretty much have the two main ways of attacking this point is through this right door that so many teams push through, or through the far left, but then you're giving up that high ground advantage, which is why they're trying to push it so hard, and opening up with this amplification matrix gives them a good start.
Frozen Phoenix still looking for a Shatter as Nox does get taken out by Bonesaw on the backside. Chum is Fum gonna jump in, get a kill. There's a Shatter, able to pick up 3. The Deadeye will come out from Despacito and pick up 1 as well. So the Everest maintaining and sustaining on the point right now is not Doomfist. Above the point, gonna throw down an Amp Matrix, look to finish off the rest of the team. As right now, Fire Islands just cannot find a way onto this point, throwing bodies at it, but they still have yet to get any percentages. They're going to lose a couple of members.
Yeah, they need to protect that backline, as Bonesaw's just been going in on Nox consistently, and they just haven't had the peel that they need from the tanks to keep them alive.
Great pin there by Diamond Dog onto the Mei, and now we get final fight here for Fire Islands. They will have the Blizzard, and we'll see what they can do. You see Monkey is sneaking around with that Deadeye, looking for a big flank on that McCree, but if you're Fire Islands, you got to get to the point. As Mei falls off the map for the final fight, it will be a 6-on-5 for the Everests. Despacito is able to take out that Immortality Field. The Shatter is going to pick up 1, but a huge Diva Bomb from Radius Boss picks up Despacito. Sound Barrier is going to come out from Pando, though, to try and keep the team alive. And unfortunately, I don't think Fire Islands is going to be able to break through that shield. It's all up to the Mei, who suicided early on. Can they sustain with the Blizzard? The answer is going to be no. And the Everest will pick up map number 1.
Yeah, if you're the Fire Islands, I would definitely expect some intense words towards Muzi after kind of the throw of the final fight. I don't know how they suicided off the edge, but it definitely cost them that run, because they had a solid push on point as that 5-man group. They had the ults to match Everest with the supports. We saw Dragon with the Sound Barrier to keep his team alive through the Diva Bomb and even through a couple of the other enemy ults. But now going over to the more open-sided map of Busan, we're not seeing Fire Islands kind of change up their comp, so the Mei will still suffer here, especially going up against this kind of high speed comp that the Everest are adopting with Despacito and the Tracer, the Wrecking Ball coming out, and now the Diva, the Genji, and the Brig. They're definitely sticking with this higher mobility that they can take the engagement where they want, eliminate those key targets like Monkey and Muzi that have been causing them issues, and secure the point without really any contention. So now it's going to be on the Fire Islands to have that target recognition to try to get in their backline and match the aggressiveness of the Everests.
Double Anti's going to land. Radius Boss taken low, so is Nox, but it's actually Despacito who's the first one who's eliminated, as the Fire Islands are up 1 and have an advantage early on in this fight, looking for another elimination as Despacito comes back into the fight. Bonesaw trying to jump on the back line. Anti's going to land. Radius Boss dropping low, and Bonesaw will simply just dash away, and neither team able to find much value, though Despacito off of spawn jumps right onto the point. And now Bonesaw and not Doomfist both going to pick up kills, and unfortunately for the Fire Islands, that's where things go south for them as they lose Radius Boss Muzi as well.
Yeah, those rotations have really been hurting Fire Islands, as we always see the tanks go in first, the healers and the DPS try to catch up, and they always get caught out on those rotations. The tanks simply do not have enough time to peel back and try to protect those rotations, and it's definitely been hurting the Fire Islands a lot, especially getting poked by Despacito right out the gate with this Tracer. The Mei Cassidy combo is definitely not going to work in their favor, or as long as they can't get to a point. McCree's there trying to take out the Tracer, but will simply not there, but instead the Diva Bomb's going to kick things off.
Chum is Fum can't find anything with the Diva Bomb, but a great freeze onto Dragon Shadow is going to get a double kill for Bonesaw. Despacito will go down, but unfortunately for the Fire Islands, they are in a 5-on-2 as Muzi and Monkey are going to just be forced to run away here and reset.
Yeah, they were very split apart in that push. We saw very early eliminations going on to a couple of the members of Fire Islands. They just need to have that higher level of team play. Hey, when they go in for these pushes, they are finally going to rotate all the way around, but they have to watch out for those Wrecking Ball to knock them all off right out the gate.
Nano's going to go on to Bonesaw there as we get the Nano Blade, and Bonesaw will follow it up with a quadra kill for himself. It's all up to Radius Boss, who will just simply suicide, and that is exactly how you draw that fight up for the Everest.
Yeah, the Fire Islands have not yet had a solid push where they can take the engagement that they want. Pulse Bomb also land on Phoenix as he's just coming right out the gate, so already going to have to commit a lot of that healing just to bring him back up. So Nox has definitely been an issue for the side of Fire Islands as he gets taken out first so early on, but I think that just speaks to the skill of Everest with that target recognition. Rally
comes out from Pando. Monkey's going to be the first one to fall. This time the Shatter does land on to 2, but neither of them will get eliminated as Moosey's going to be the next target for Diamond Dog and Company. They will go down. Pando is taken out, but in this final fight, that is the only elimination that Fire Islands are able to pick up here. They do get another one onto Despacito. There's a sound barrier that comes out from Dragon Shadow, trying to prolong overtime as long as possible here for the Fire Islands, but they just not found an elimination since that pick onto Despacito. We hear the Diva Bomb come out from Radius Boss and Chum is Fum. Chum is Fum will get picked off, and it looks like the Fire Islands might now finally be able to get back in this fight. As we see here, Diamond Dog and Despacito both going to pick up a pair of eliminations, and I think that will do it as the Fire Islands will get taken out there.
Yeah, they definitely got out-sustained by the Everest, having that much higher mobility comp and just being able to dodge and weave from the Fire Islands when they ever tried to have a concisive team push. And definitely the Mei Cassidy was not the DPS that you need to try to deal with both the Genji and the Tracer. The Cassidy was definitely doing his best, but just getting double-teamed constantly by those two DPSs was causing him a lot of issues, and the Mei was not able to carry her way as she was taking out rotations a lot and kind of had some misplays on those Mei walls, cutting off her own team rotations from each other.
The Everest once again holds serve there as the top team of the group, but we'll see how the Fire Islands can recover in our second game of the round robin. This one a full best-of-3 series against Meridian High. We've not seen them in our Rumbles. We've heard they're a very young team. They're actually in the arena yesterday just getting some practice. So a very strong team, a local team, as Brenner said, as well for us here in the Boise area. So it should be exciting to see how they could do against the Fire Islands team that's been really focused and is improving, looking to make a move in that club championship at the end of the week. And a strong performance here would go a long way. The winner of this will advance. They'll take on the Everest in our grand finals, who look like the team to beat right now. But we'll see what Meridian High can do, because Fire Islands, I think that was definitely their most impressive map. I know they got 100-0'd both times, but they were at least trading even in some fights, Brenner, where in the past they had just been getting rolled over and hadn't picked up more than one elimination for an entire map at times.
Yeah, as you mentioned really early on, they are now an official team of 6. They're not having substitutes or people fill in, so they can now practice as a team and start learning, how each member works, who's best in what role and what hero, and how they can try to build that into a team composition that can start winning these matches. So I definitely agree. They've just been improving consistently, and we've seen that. As you mentioned, they're not getting completely rolled in the war. They're lasting in fights. They're getting a couple eliminations, trading every so often and trying to engage on their terms. They just need to understand that team comp a little bit more, and I think that just comes with time of playing with each other more. So I expect a solid future from them.
Well, the winner of this match will go on to the grand finals against the Everest to wrap up week 4. And if it's the Fire Islands that win, they'll have some great momentum heading into that club championship coming up on the 17th. But let's hop into our second round robin game of the night, a best of 3 series. Never actually, we're going to take a quick break. I think we got some things going on here. Of course, Brendan and I are sitting in the dark. We do not want that. So we'll take a quick break. We will come back with Meridian High taking on the Fire Islands right after this.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Welcome to Esports Tower. Our website offers over 350 different fan favorites that are fully customizable. To begin, click on the product category or featured item to get started. To further customize your new gear, click the blue View More Designs button and pick your favorite design. Thank you for visiting the Esports Tower store.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Welcome to Esports Tower. Our website offers over 350 different fan favorites that are fully customizable. To begin, click on the product category or featured item to get started. To further customize your new gear, click the blue View More Designs button and pick your favorite design. Thank you for visiting the Esports Tower store.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Fisher Brenner here calling all of the action for our Overwatch Esports Tower Rumble week number 4, final week before the club championships. Somebody looking to be the final champion will be the Everest or will Meridian High or the Fire Islands of Esports Tower come away with a shocking win. We're going to find out who will join the Everest here, Brenner, in our grand finals. It will be Meridian High taking on the Fire Islands in a full best of 3. As we hop right into control and we see Frozen Phoenix picking up a kill onto Neptune here right off the bat. And the Fire Islands look like they're going to be able to capture this, so a revive from Daydream is going to put Meridian Technical back at full life. Monkey, though, gets a pick onto Big Boofus. It looks like the Fire Islands in control.
Yeah, this has been a solid start for them so far. As we saw kind of kick things off, Daydream was already resing Fem Neptune, so they were able to utilize and take out that pharmacy that has been such an issue for teams in the past, with Daydream just kind of being that mercy carry.
So you see Frozen Phoenix and Muzi pick up a pair of eliminations. Monkey's going to get one as well, and Fire Islands is picking up kills. This is the best we've seen them perform. That full roster that we talked about, Brenner, really coming through strong as they have the point once again.
Yeah, this is also a different roster than we've seen from Meridian Technical. Typically, we see Eternal Flame be that pharmacy with Daydream. So now with Fem Neptune on that, usually we've seen them also play tank. So this time it's going to be Soup and Big Boofus, kind of both playing off tanks. So it's definitely an interesting comp going up against Fire Islands, who have a much more solid comp. They definitely have a goal in mind of hack the target, go in on that target, especially with Frozen Phoenix able to dive them right in. So Fire Islands definitely having that team comp, but I think Meridian Technical can easily win on the individual play with this pharmacy, as well as JR on this Cassidy. So we have to just wait and see who engages with this first Nano.
The Nano is going to go on to Frozen Phoenix, and they are going to get pinned. They'll pop the Primal Rage to stay alive, but a Coalescence from Dragonfire is going to take out Radius Boss. So Meridian Technical sits up 1 as Fem Neptune will respawn, but Frozen Phoenix with Muzi getting an elimination. That Winston staying alive for so long with the Nano, trying to take out Daydream thanks to a great anti as well. Big Boof is going to pick up a kill, but unfortunately, we talk about it in Doc's Keys. The objective's better than the kills this entire time, Brenner. The objective's pushed up above 60% for the Fire Islands.
Yeah, the Fire Islands also coming out of that with kind of winning that team fight. They did start off losing a lot of members, and Meridian Technical didn't really move over to the point, as you mentioned, and it definitely has cost them. Right now, Daydream's definitely doing their best to keep their team alive, but Dragonfire with this more is also having the kind of high heals that they need. Does not help that Big Boofus and Soup have not been able to match the tanking potential of the Fire Islands, with both Radius Boss and Frozen Phoenix being such an issue. And with a great EMP landing on 3 members, Meridian Technical is already down a member.
Diva Bomb from Radius Boss can't quite find anything though, as Soup and Big Boofus will answer the call. They'll pick up a pair of eliminations onto the back line of the Fire Islands, and Nano's going to go on to Frozen Phoenix to at least get them into overtime. So even if they lose this point, they'll only have to win 1. But Monkey finds out Fem Neptune in the middle of a rocket barrage, and Fire Islands are going to turn this on Meridian Technical. There's only 1 man left. The Deadeye from JR is going to come out, but nobody's on the point, and the Fire Islands pick up map number 1 over Meridian Technical.
Yeah, it's definitely the benefit of having 2 tanks that can absorb the damage or even deny it, compared to Big Boofus on the Roadhog. Was able to win, you know, a couple 1v1s with the hook left click strat, but not being able to kind of provide a barrier or damage absorption for his team definitely cost him that. So now with Fem Neptune swapping over to the Doomfist and Daydream staying on the Mercy, this is definitely going to be an uphill battle, especially with JR sticking to the Cassidy, now swapping over to the Hanzo. So it seems that they kind of want to play both sides of have the long-range engagement with Hanzo trying to take out ALW, who's been doing very well, charging up a ton of nanos. Now Muzi's also going to match the Far and do his own, but going back to the Sombra, that worked out very well for them. That EMP landing on 3 members definitely helped them initiate that fight and eliminate JR so early on. So now all eyes are going to be on Fem Neptune to see if he can disrupt that back line that has been so solid for Fire Islands, but also going right into a break can be an issue.
Ooh, the halt nearly gripped somebody down into the hole. They get a stun on to Soup, and they'll be the first target eliminated. Monkey will go down, and Radius Boss will get booped into the middle. A great environmental kill for Dragonfire there. We see Muzi on the back line. And as the point opens up, Big Boofus can't quite land the hook. ALW does get a pick onto Dragonfire, though, so it is an even fight as Soup and Radius Boss look to get back into the fight. Both teams looking for some environmental kills with the Roadhogs. As we see Monkey's now going to hop on top of Fem Neptune, and with that elimination plus Soup getting hacked and dropping low, Fire Islands look to be favored here as Radius Boss gets a pick. Fem Neptune right off the res, though. We'll be able to get one. Both Roadhogs go into each other. A great hook there for Big Boofus, though. We'll take them out, and the Fire Islands cannot maintain control as Meridian Technical picked up the point first.
Yeah, at this point, it's just going to be contest for as long as you can and build up that percentage as Fire Islands have definitely been trying to get it back with Monkey taking out Daydream once again, knowing his target and being able to execute on it. But Soup being so low, not having a healer to get him back, might get taken out by Monkey as the Amplifier comes out to who maintain Fire Island's presence on this point, but they have yet to cap it.
And another elimination. ALW racking up kills in the kill feed. Monkey looking to hop on JR, and this should be enough to flip the point here, and it will for Fire Islands, and they get back in control.
Yeah, Fire Islands also having the ult advantage. Meridian Technical very close to matching them as the Dragons did come out for JR and wasn't able to be the game changer that they needed to secure the point, as Monkey also just used that pulse bomb and was not able to capitalize on it. The Sombra even getting scouted out by Dragonfire. So that's an early lead for this team fight that Meridian Technical needs.
Valkyrie's going to get popped there from Daydream. We get the rally from Dragon Shadow. The Nano's going to go on to Radius Boss with the whole hog. As Soup not able to get a kill with the Shatter, but once again, Dragonfire, another environmental kill here. Daydream going to get that revive onto Soup, alleviating some of that pressure. And the Fire Island still holding on, but just barely, as they're going to lose another member. ALW down. They'll just try and stall out on the point for as long as possible until Meridian Technical will flip it at 43.
Yeah, that early Sombra pick was fantastic, and watching Dragonfire this whole time, he got both boops onto both tanks of Fire Islands, which definitely gave them the lead that they needed. Now JR swapping over to Soldier 76 is exactly what they needed, just a higher damage output as the Hanzo was not working out for them as well as possible, and he will also help burn down Radius Boss on that Hog and break that Orisa shield.
Oh, Fem Neptune almost landed the stun and the double headshot onto Muzi. ALW is able to pick up a kill onto Fem Neptune. That puts the Fire Islands up one. We'll see if they can take this fight. They get a great pick onto Daydream as well, but Dragonfire, with I think his third environmental kill of the map, keeps Meridian Technical in the fight here, keeping that point up to 87%. It even has the sound barrier as well. Soup will go down, but the Fire Islands just simply cannot find a way to eliminate this Lucio. As ALW will get picked off, they will go for a reset, but a great play there from Dragonfire.
Yeah, that's a big issue with Ilios Wall, is everyone plays around the Roadhog and the Lucio, and Fire Islands not having that Lucio has definitely cost him with how many environmentals that Dragonfire has gotten. As you mentioned, it's 3 to 4 at this point. It's probably going to continue to skyrocket. But Meridian Technical got that 97% as Fire Islands finally trying to build up their own, but they have to watch out for Big Boofus and Dragonfire as they've been getting all the environmental kills, so they have to play so far back that as soon as Meridian Technical gets on top of them, they're already down in the fight. And taking out Radius Boss once again so early on is the lead Meridian Technical needs.
I think Boofus and Soup both picking up kills. The whole Hog's going to get popped for Big Boofus, and that feels like that is going to end this round and send us to a round 3. We'll see if the Fire Islands have a play in them. Down 3 already. The respawns come out. They're going to get a 5-man EMP for Boozy, but unfortunately, it's just not going to matter. Meridian Technical will survive through it. They're going to pop the visor, and we're heading to a map number 3 here.
Yeah, Meridian Technical had a solid hold. They knew how to play well to all the keys that they needed, and they played it fantastically. I mean, Dragonfire was easily one of the carries of that match, getting so many boops into the center, especially onto so many of the tanks that just simply were unaware of how dangerous a Lucio can be that's that good on that map. So they definitely paid for it, bringing us to map number 3, as you mentioned, for Ilios. And now with the kind of comp swamps coming in already, Muzi's back on that Doomfist, and hopefully he will be able to capitalize, taking out the back line of Meridian Technical that was kind of instrumental in how well they were able to hold on to the point and just out-sustain Fire Islands as the they were playing that like half and half. Half of them was behind Soup with JR trying to burn down the shields, as the other half was going right in trying to get the environmentals and winning those 1v1s. They have that higher individual play as Fire Islands, but Marine Technical has the better individual play, but Fire Islands has been showing a stronger team play. But now Muzi on the Echo, a very high potential DPS with that duplicate. It's going to have to be someone you watch out for, but does not have the pocket mercy like Marine Technical with Daydream. So this will be an interesting matchup for sure, but Big Boof is off to a good start.
Found the flank onto Monkey, but Soup will go down. A double anti's going to land onto Dragon Shadow and Radius Boss. It will unfortunately cost Radius Boss his mech, as Meridian Technical is going to unlock the point first. They are dropping low. JR cannot get away from Frozen Phoenix, who will hop right back onto the point hit into a Junkrat trap. But another elimination for ALW, and just like that, the Fire Islands have hopped onto the point, look to flip it as we see Radius Boss able to re-mech here, but they lose 2 immediately afterwards. Dragon Shadow, the next target. Once again, though, Soup goes down. Here is the Riptire. This could mean everything for Meridian Technical, but they can't quite find the elimination, and Muzi finds Fem Neptune in the middle of that ultimate. But neither team able to come up with an edge. As we see, it looks like this is going to be a reset finally from the Fire Islands.
Yeah, Meridian Technical was able, through that entire team fight, finish it out with 40% on the board. And Big Boof was even able to hook the Echo and take her out so early and just stalls them out for that much more free time. They get a whole extra 10% out of it, and a great sleep onto Radius Boss is already going to slow down their push just that much more. And they have the ult advantage going into this Fire Islands, trying to close that distance, opening things up with the rally.
Soup, though, with the ante taken very low, barely survives, throws out the shatter onto Radius Boss, and a great sleep onto ALW in the backline, but Soup will go down. Monkey's going to pick up an elimination. Daydream does get the revive onto Soup and somehow stays alive with the Valkyrie. Never mind. Now finally going down to Monkey as we see Radius Boss is able to re-mech, and the Fire Islands once again hop on top of the point, and this time feels like they're going to be able to pick this one up as it'll flop to their side.
Yeah, they had that target priority down. Even with all the ults, Meridian Technical had to commit to it. Fire Islands definitely played that phenomenally. That's why I like to touch on how they have the higher team play going up against Meridian Technical, where they have the better individual play going up against Fire Islands. But now with the 4 ults on the side of Fire Islands, this should be an easy team fight, especially starting with the Nano.
Nano's going to go on to Frozen Phoenix. Monkey and Muzi going to pick up a pair of eliminations. Frozen Phoenix doesn't even have to pop the Primal Rage to be able to be a menace on the back line. Now has to drop away. Does end up popping the Primal Rage a little bit late just to try and stay in live. Looking to try and burn down JR on this soldier. But getting pocketed the whole time by Daydream. Will stay alive now. Frozen Phoenix put to sleep and going to be immediately burned down. Overstaying his welcome just a little bit.
Yeah, that's the issue with the Primal Rage Monkey, is you just get carried away swinging and immediately got burned down as soon as he lost the 1,000 health boost. And now Daydream with another res. They have not been able to contest these, but can usually quickly eliminate Daydream afterwards. But JR with the sides coming out, able to take out Muzi. This Echo without a pocket mercy has been such an issue for Fire Islands that I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him swap off after using this duplicate, not having a pocket mercy.
Fire Islands only has maybe one more fight left in them, as well as the point goes above 90%. So we'll see if they can. They found so many picks onto Soup, but they haven't been able to find consistent team fight wins. They'll have 2 ultimates available. A great hook for Big Boofus, though, onto Muzi. Going to pop that duplicate onto the Roadhog. As Fem Neptune is the first one to go down. Soup will go off the edge, but is able to take Radius Boss's mech down. Before that happens, the duplicate will fade, but it looks like it's going to be enough. They finally stop Daydream after the revive. Big Boofus will get burned down, and Fire Islands will keep themselves alive here, but they cannot afford to lose another fight.
Yeah, Monkey was definitely popping off there on the Tracer, causing so many issues for the backlane. We saw the Pulse Bomb onto Dragonfire, taking out the main support, then clearing up the remaining DPS of Marine Technical. But now, with them on the attack, not having any ults going to this fight, whereas Fire Islands has both the Nano and the Rally, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. But if they get those right early picks onto the supports, they can easily take this, or even a pick onto the Winston could end things well. But a 4-man anti in sleep is not what you want to see if you're Marine Technical.
Punish on to Fem Neptune and Dragonfire. Monkey will get one more as well before Big Boofus picks up one, but the problem is Meridian Technical waited so long to take that fight that was the only chance they're going to get. They could try and swap over. Frozen Phoenix going to try and hold them in the spawn. They're not going to be able to make it there. They just waited too long to pull the trigger. So the Fire Islands pick up their map win and are now on match point, and a chance at the grand finals await them.
Yeah, I believe that was actually one of the first times we've seen Fire Islands come away with a win, but it took them 4 weeks, but they were able to do it up against the newcomer into this Esports Tower Rumble of Meridian High. So good on them. I'm very proud to see them get that win. So now continuing on this best of 3, I'm curious how Marine Technical might try to combat this, seeing the skill level of the Fire Islands.
Yeah, Fire Islands looking very strong now that they have a full roster. They're on match point for the grand finals. But we're going to take a quick break. We will be back with the conclusion of this and our grand finals of the Week 4 Overwatch Rumble.